Hello,
Let me
everyone.
find my.
It's time for an all-new game. It's time for Malmoto's Pokemon game. So, and this is gonna be pretty badass. Yeah. I have nothing cool to say other than that. But yeah, we have. I think we're pretty much ready to go. I'll do a character intro. So I am Sergeant Jake Steele. I am a World War II fighter pilot who pilots the de Havilland Mosquito. For those of you who played 1941 Counterattack, an awesome shoot 'em up, that's me. Me and the P-38 are in deep within German lines. We just fought our way through the Luftwaffe, and we are blowing the shit out of the top secret German weapon, the Gotha. And that's where we're at. And so, Mamoto, I'm gonna leave it to you.
All right. So let me think about how to start this up because I did give it a little thought, but I also didn't know the way the Gotha works. So, as Eddie told me, because he wants to always have weird characters in my games.
Yes, I'm a World War II fighter pilot who's gonna encounter Pokemon and possibly some Monster Hunter stuff.
Anyhow, no, it's not like that. It's just like it's always like just something weird. I'm like, hey, want to play a Pokemon game? You're like, yeah, I'll play a trainer. You're like, no, I want to play this guy in a specific game that no one ever saw. They just sold the fucking plane, but I'm that guy.
Well, truth be told, the character in that game is just a little tiny plane. There's no person. My character is I'm a plane.
Yes, I can imagine. You're sitting around. You identify as attack helicopter.
Yeah, we say that in the military. You know, with all this gender politics, it's like, oh, I identify as a B-17 bomber. It's like, it's true. It's true. It's like the funniest joke.
Is it? To
No,
who?
it's the one they always make.
Yeah, I bet.
I think it's
Because that's how you. The
like
less funny it
time
is.
The
less funny it actually is, the more you're going to hear it. That's how it is.
Exactly. It's like my jokes.
Yeah. Okay. I just had to plug in my
Remember that time when I
computer.
called Exenius a weeb? That was funny.
I know. Think about all the people on your channel you isolate by calling him a weeb.
Yeah. Just make Exenius feel
No.
bad.
I'm just going to keep trying to get the furries to watch the show. They're just going to be like, yeah, they're representing our peoples. And be like, yep, totally am. That's all.
Here's the problem with getting furries. It's like, okay, we've used two images like so far that you could arguably get furries with. We got the Zootopia rabbit hole thing, and now we got Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
We can get the Scalies in on that. But we haven't actually played any furries yet. Which actually, I'm down to play a furry. I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan. I don't know if that counts.
That doesn't.
Apparently not, because that's popular. But like, seriously,
I mean,
I will totally play Ironclaw. I will totally play Ironclaw. I will totally play First Son. I have no problem.
Ironclaw is.
What's that, sir?
You'll get your little furry buddy.
What, Davis?
No, not Davis. Davis is a furry. Davis is a weed. Shit, I'm more of a furry than him. No, the guy you like, Shadow Wolf.
Dishonored Wolf.
Oh, there you go, Dishonored Wolf.
That would be awesome. I don't know if he roleplays. He also has no idea who I am. So.
Also, hold on. To counter that, obviously he was a fucking furry.
You're kind of. I can't hear you too well.
I'm sorry. I've moved the phone away from my face once again because I have a habit of when I put it thinking that it has a microphone. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I was going to say, he obviously roleplays. Say.
Well, do all furries roleplay? Is that a thing?
Well, as it turns out, you're not a fucking foxkin or a bird or a cat or a bunny, so you kind of have to pretend to be one if you're a furry.
Yes, but do they sit down and like play a game like this with role-playing, or do they just put on a... I feel like we're making horrible mass generalizations about furries right now.
No. You're thinking RPG. I'm talking these people go into forums and they yiff. Or if they're not like MTV's fucking Real Life or whatever the shit show was that started the entire YIF culture bullshit, then yeah. Essentially, no. There was creepy fuckers out there that want to have sex as wolves and shit like that. Wolves, not wolves. Jesus Christ. But there are people like that. I mean, I'm here, so obviously that is real.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of people that have an innocent, like, oh, I just have a spirit inside of me, and it's a badger. And then people walk up and they're like, hey, yeah, you want to pretend to be a badger while I fuck you in the ass? And they're like, God, no. Why would a badger want to get fucked in the ass? And they're like, I thought that's how this works. Oh no, my anonymous sex fixation. It doesn't translate to everything else. But yeah. So anyhow.
We have lost all our furry subscribers at this moment.
No, there's actual, like, regular old fuckers out there that aren't addicted to sex that are like, yeah, that's sort of how it is. It's been ruined by the fact that the only thing the media pays attention to is sex and weirdness.
And yeah, I could deal with a little bit of the sex stuff, honestly. It gets.
Oh no, I love the sex stuff. I love porn. Like, this is where we start losing the fucking viewership if we ever get any.
Let's talk about.
So they come in, they're like, this Malmoto guy is pretty cool as a DM. Then he goes on like a 15-minute rant about how much he loves porn.
We're already
and they're like, huh?
we already haven't even like we're like, yeah, we're gonna play this game, Ramble.
We're gonna play this. That's how we always started off, Eddie. Yeah. We're always like, we're gonna play a game.
It's a pre-game show. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, they're gonna enjoy it because we want to talk about pornography. Yeah. Anyhow, so there's a lot of furry porn too, which brings us back to the focus.
Yeah.
So anyhow, you destroy the Gotha, which is the last enemy in the game. It's a fucking Batwing plane inside of a Zeppelin, as Eddie has educated me about, because I didn't have any fucking idea about this game.
This game is awesome, and you should emulate it now.
Anyhow, the strange reactor with its eldritch magics that keeps it in the air goes fucking critical because of the explosion.
But before that happens, I calm into my partner in the P-38, Captain Richards. Yeah, we did it, Richards. We got that motherfucker. Let's blow this thing and go home. Go ahead.
All right. So you see it start to list and kilt. A kilter? Yeah, anyhow. It starts to list and, like, go down because how does this thing fly? Like, I'm just imagining it flying backwards while you shoot at it or something. But anyhow.
You sure you've never played this game before?
Is that what it does?
Yeah, it does. You're like chasing it, but it's like it actually hits you with these kind of like orb things, these blue orb things. If you notice on the sprites I sent you, and it also hits you with your its thrusters. Actually, that's one of the.
Oh, okay. So it's not flying backwards and shooting at you.
Yeah, you're kind of chasing it.
Oh, okay. Well, anyhow, it starts to drift off to the side. You start congratulating yourself and jerking off in your cockpit because you're a pilot, and they do shit like that.
Take that, you Nazi bastard!
Your associate starts pulling off because he's like, hey, now, this thing has a weird exhaust system. What kind of engine does it have? And he barely starts saying that over the mic as he's pulling back, as you just see a flash of white.
Yeah.
Now, I forgot to ask, do you fight it over an ocean?
No, you're over land. You're like deep within Germany at this point, I think.
Okay.
There's no
you watch as
in the game because it's a shoot 'em up, but it's like you're kind of left to draw clues. Yeah, we're in Germany. It's like
I assume you gotta, and Hitler's piloting the thing the entire time.
But that's never confirmed. But let's say it is. True death of Hitler.
He didn't die in the bunker. Oh, dude, that'd be so bad.
Hey, look, we know what really happened to Hitler. All right, B.J. Blazkowicz shot his fucking head off after blowing him out of a high-tech like tank armor. And Hellboy killed his severed head a couple years later. That's how Hitler died.
What about the bear Jew, or the guys that shot him up in Inglourious Basterds?
That was his clone, but Tarantino got it wrong. It's wrong.
That was the Hitler clone?
Let's just
Okay.
alternate universe Hitler.
So he killed Krieger.
Superman,
Oh man,
Superman
there's a
just
deep
went to the
reference.
Geneva Convention and arrested him.
All right. Focus. So
the play of hate is fucking him up.
yes, they play a hated.
They hated on Hitler.
I mean, you gotta. It's Hitler. No one cares about Stalin, Mao, or all the other fucking crazy. It's because he came after other people's people that they wanted to abuse them.
Honky?
But
What's
anyhow.
honky? Honky is a racial epithet used for white people, made popular by a man named George Jefferson.
What?
Chappelle's show. Moving on.
Okay.
I can't be a slave.
Hey, is that
okay?
like what?
R.I.P. Charlie Murphy. Anyway, moving on.
Wait, Charlie Murphy's dead?
Oh my god, you didn't know?
I didn't know Charlie Murphy was dead.
Yeah.
I knew that like a lot of people are dead. No, I did hear that Charlie Murphy died. Yeah.
Okay, thank God.
Shit.
Thank God, because we're just getting it started, and I'm at to console you about Charlie Murphy.
I mean, I don't know Charlie Murphy, and I don't really care about Charlie Murphy. The most I got out of Charlie Murphy was the hits.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyhow.
Yeah.
Ah, man. Imagine being Eddie Murphy famous back in...
Yeah.
All right. Nonetheless, there's a bright flash of light. Your dials and all those other things are going haywire. Your plane starts letting out one of those not one of those whoops, but those whines of like shit's going down.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on.
I'm trying to pull up.
And we're obviously underground, and like all sorts of like it doesn't understand. Just the meters go crazy from like what was possibly magnetic disturbance mixed with pressure and all this other stuff. And the Eldritch device that they're using to run the Gotha, rips through space and time because that's how it got its infinite power.
Yeah.
By tapping into the fucking Sidorak. And lo and behold, you're taken with it as it goes critical, releasing for a brief moment a wormhole. And suddenly before you, you're in a heavily... what's the name of those things? Oh, there's a name for them. I can't remember the name. Those fucking spikes of rock that stick up near the oceans and places with cliff sides.
Spires?
No, it's not just spires. There's an actual name for that shit, and I just forget because I'm on drugs. Anyhow, so yeah, there's just like 500 fucking foot tall pillars of stone that have been warped and ripped by the ocean. There's, sandy white beaches. There's just, a beautiful environment stretching out in front of you that is totally not Germany because there isn't a big-ass ocean in the middle of Germany. And so you're careening at this island. Your flight assist is just gone to shit.
Alright, I'm going to try to pull up and stabilize myself.
Alright, that's going to be just a straight up roll. I mean, it's unexpected, so you're at a -2.
Okay. I should get my dice ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
Edward the Unready. Always unprepared.
Edward the Unprepared.
Edward the Unprepared.
You got to learn your name. It's not the Unready, it's the Unprepared. You know what? I'm gonna start sending you that fucking God, what's it called? Holy shit! Why did I forget Illidan's name? There we go.
Okay, so
Illidan all the time. You are not prepared.
This is Dex plus my drive specialty, so I roll 9 times.
Yeah.
And how much? What was my minus at?
2.
2. So I roll 7 times. Alright, 1 failure, 3 successes, 2 of which are 10 agains. So I'm going to roll twice more. Okay, I got 3 successes. Wait,
Alright.
No. I said 3 successes and 1 failure, so 2 successes.
Oh, okay. Well, you correct the the tails. No, it's not a tailspin, is it? Oh well. Yeah, you correct out of the tailspin because essentially, there's just the pressure differential because of this thing pulling a bunch of air from one point to another. You see, like, the charred remains of the Gotha just going under the water in front of you.
Okay.
Like, it's still exploding. It's, like, crackling with energy of multicolors and prismatic sprays. And, like, it just careens into the water. And you can see that whatever it is fucking hot, hot heat. Because that water's just churning and boiling right there. But you're shooting out ahead of it, heading towards the beach. You correct. You don't hit the beach. There's tall-ass trees. There's spiraling rocks in the distance, possibly mountains.
It's a island, basically, right?
It's a decent-sized island. It might be about 3 times the size of New York. Who knows? Okay. But anyhow, yeah, you're going pretty fast, though, so it's not that big comparatively. So you get probably, like, you've leveled out. You have a choice of what you're going to do at this point. Like, you're flying over the island, so you can just check out its parameters. You can see if there's, like, cities and so forth or whatever.
Well, okay, I'm going to look at the ground, but meanwhile, what I'm going to try to call home.
So you're radioing.
Let's say it's the Enterprise, just because.
Yeah,
that's one of the more awesome aircraft.
You know what? It's going to be the USSR Johnson because I like making dick references.
Okay, fine, R. Johnson.
Yeah.
R. Johnson, this is Steele. R. Johnson, this is Steele. Can you read me?
You just get strange harmonic noise over the radio coming back at you. Just that high whistles and all that stuff and
I'm
buzz.
A parallel between games. Shelley gets weird magnetic noises, and so does my World War II fighter pilot.
Oh no! What you got with Shelley, since you want to bring that up, was actually just distorted screaming. But whatever.
Oh, okay. Good. I'll have nightmares about dents later. But moving on. Okay, so I get to.
Dude, I actually had that happen. I got a random call from my girlfriend at the time, and it was on voicemail. So I listened to it, and like, there's nothing for a while, and then there's like this thrashing sounding noise and muffled murmuring noises, and then there's this long, distorted scream sound, and I'm like, okay, someone kidnapped my rather hot girlfriend at the time. I could see it happening in my head. And I was just like, oh, man, this is trouble. So I called her family, and I was concerned, and her stepdad got mad at me because I used the word hell, because he's a pastor. I said, I don't know what the hell's going on. And then from that point on, didn't like me because I used the word hell. And I'm like, listen, you can listen to the recording on my phone. I'm not making crap up. And when she finally reconnected with me, nothing had happened. I played the call for her, and she's like, that's fucking creepy. And I'm like, I fucking know. Why do you think I wigged out? But yeah, whatever. All right. Anyhow. So yeah, it's just distorted.
Life. It's a terrifying story. Okay.
Yeah.
He's going to try calling a couple times. Just like
all right, so you keep hitting the comm button. When you take it off, it's just that murmuring buzz of...
Richards, are you there? Richards, over. What was the name of the ship again? R. Dix. Mamoto. Hello. Mamoto. God. Alright, hold on, people. Mamoto, you there? Mamoto. Hello. And everybody, my internet died, and it was hilarious. And we've been arguing about the environment for about an hour or so. So, yeah. So, you ready?
Yeah, I'm trying to find one. You put in dead, and it's like dead people, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about people.
I know. Fuck them. All right, so Steele is flying around and getting no response and not knowing how the hell he got to an island and where the hell he is. He is going to search for a place to land. I'm going to try to find a... Hold on. Okay. Just before I get into it. All right.
There are things you see in the sky. You see birds, and you see other things on the ground, and it takes you a moment. You're like, is that fucking dinosaurs?
I actually say, is that fucking dinosaurs? The hell am
Okay.
I?
But your mind is a bit scattered because you're like, did that throw me back through time? And all these other weird thoughts are entering your mind because you're seeing shit that's just unreal, like large creatures. And you're like, that doesn't look like a T-Rex, but I don't know all the dinosaurs because I have zero academics.
I mean,
And
he's
so,
probably
yeah,
thinking
it's
that
probably a
they're like
dinosaur.
dragons or something like that, which arguably they are. So
It's true. Oh, God. Forgot. All right. Anyhow. But, yeah.
actually, no. Okay,
So you're flying.
You mentioned cities. I am going to see if I can find cities.
Oh, okay. So you're flying around, and it's just a lot of overgrowth. You're not seeing any real buildings or anything like that, but you see something that catches your eye, something shiny and reflective. But it's underneath like a mound of twisting vines, and there's trees and foliage growing up through it.
Okay. Is there like a field I can land my de Havilland in?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not too far away, but you'd say it's probably like 3 clicks to that thing that you saw.
Okay.
Now, the other problem is you're landing somewhat distance from the wreck of the Gotha.
Okay.
But the Gotha is out in the water, and you don't know how fucking deep that is. But it's pretty far out into the water. So, good luck recovering it.
He doesn't know what happened. He's not thinking that would probably be a smart thing to do, but he doesn't. Yeah, academic 0.
Okay.
Dude, I don't think this character has it in him to reverse engineer a time portal or whatever the hell just happened. I whipped up a tesseract in my garage once. Went to the land without shrimp. Pretty boring, but yeah, I'm gonna land in the field 3 clicks from the shiny stuff.
All right.
And
so you're coming down, and it's tall grass. The blades of your plane just start getting clogged with it as you watch the fucking grass go flying everywhere as you land.
Yeah.
But it's just a nice deep sea of grass.
Shit. All right. Land the plane.
All right.
Get out of the
Luckily for you, it's only like 4 foot tall. The exit of the plane leaves you about 7 feet above it.
Okay. All right. I get out of the plane. I get my Colt M19, extra mags, my straight, my Garand, extra mag, and I start very cautiously and carefully heading towards the shiny object in the vines.
All right.
Keep an eye open for critters.
You see overhead birds flying, and you didn't realize this because you were flying at 10,000 feet altitude. Yeah. But now that you're close to the ground and so forth, probably not 10,000, maybe only 5,000. But yeah, now that you're close to the ground and so forth, there's mountains sprawling in the distance with jagged peaks. There's literally a goddamn massive, like a tree that's possibly, 1,000 feet tall. Just sweeping, winding, and in on itself vines, and yeah, it's rather spectacular to look at. But other than that, there's also the fact that the birds you see are fucking huge. They've got wingspans of 6 feet, and then there's some that are even larger than that. So you're like, okay, there's birds. I don't remember birds being around with dinosaurs, but who knows? And but yeah.
Fucking birds.
Yeah.
I keep careful, and I stay low.
All right, so I want you to make a wits composure roll.
Okay. All right, 4 dice. All right, 2 10 agains and 1 failure. So I'm gonna roll 2 dice. Okay. I have 3 successes.
All right. So you notice the shuddering of the grass a little ways away, and it's tall, but you could pick up on like a curl of purple moving through it.
I crouch down. I actually get on my stomach and get my Garand ready to open fire.
All right, the grass, like I said, is 4 foot tall. If you crouch down, it's like crouching down on a wheat field. You won't be able to see shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that anyway. I'm gonna crouch down, so basically whatever's coming forward can see me. And I'm got my gun ready in order to open fire on it.
So it's coming towards you, but at the last minute, it careens away.
Okay.
So you never really get to see what it is. Like you hear motion, you hear something rustling through the grass as it's running, and then it careens away. Now, I need you to make another Wits Composure roll, but this one unfortunately is at a -2.
No successes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you hear whatever it was running, and it's getting more and more distant.
Okay.
Is there anything you do?
I'm gonna keep moving forward, but at a crouch.
Okay. So you move forward a little bit at the crouch.
I'm camel crawling. I'm crawling on all fours on my stomach.
Yeah. And you gosh, I want you to make another another perception roll, but this time at like a -3.
No successes.
Huh?
No successes.
Okay. So you are crawling through the grass, and then like that's unfortunate.
Is something about to be surprising me at this point?
Yes.
Well, it's a good thing I have danger sense, which gives me an advantage to being surprised.
Okay, good. So, as you are going through the grass, a head comes through of a gigantic serpent.
Okay.
It's got yellow eyes with slit pupils. It's got a big fucking head. This thing's head is probably like the size of your head. This snake must be of a decent length, probably over 10 feet long. It's got a thick body with a band of yellow just below its neck and a tail of little bulbs like a rattler.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you forgot to mention all the bullet holes that are inside of its head.
Oh, okay. So you gonna start shooting this snake?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right. So 3. Special machine gun. Oh, that's right. Okay, I rolled 8 times.
Okay.
All right. 1 failure, 3 successes, 1 10 again.
Okay.
So I believe that's 3 successes. That's 2 successes. Hey, hang on.
All right.
Actually, I'm gonna check something. Ooh, hold on. I 9 again with this gun, so I actually get another 10 again.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I got a 10 again. And, so I said, alright, so I got 3 successes at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling my second 10 again. Oh, wait. I fucked up. No. It was a 7. I only have 2 successes.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 successes.
So,
2 lethal?
your immediate response is to shoot this snake, and it snaps back, hissing madly. from the pain it experiences from being shot. But as it is a snake, it really can't do much besides thrash a bit and then wheel about back at you. So I do need you to make a dice roll.
Okay.
Because we're going to have to do initiative, because since you can't be surprised, you got to act in the surprise round.
Mm-hmm.
Because the snake was also technically surprised about you.
Yeah.
Where's my move list? There it is.
I have initiative 6, so I roll 6 times.
Okay. No, you have initiative 6, so you roll once and then add the 6.
Okay. Alright, I rolled a 9.
So you made a 15.
No. I rolled a 3 and add the 6, so I got a 9.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. That means the snake beat you.
Okay.
So the snake whips back and then snaps forward, trying to bite you.
Okay.
It's its best roll. What's your defense?
2.
2? Okay. So the snake misses you
Okay.
with its bite.
Start jumping back.
Yeah. So you're getting onto your feet because you're prone.
Yeah. And I'm gonna fire again.
Alright.
Alright, 3 successes, 1 10 again. 3 successes.
Alright. So you shoot the snake.
Yeah.
Alright.
Damage.
Alrighty. So you've used 2 bullets, by the way. Just keeping track of that for you. Alright. So you shoot the snake. It's not dead. It's a big fucking healthy snake. And it's angry now. And I need you to make a wits composure roll. It looks you like this really awful look, like horrifying look, and you swear you fucking see death in its eyes, and somehow it shakes you to the core. So make a wits composure roll. Yeah.
Okay. No successes.
Alright, you lose your defense for, let's see, you lose 1 defense. If it does this move to you 3 more times, you'll get a minus, or it'll get a +1 essentially, but you lose 1 defense.
Okay, so, now.
Yeah.
Alright. I shoot him again.
Okay. So you've dealt 5 damage to it so far.
Yeah. Okay. I've got 2 failures, 4 successes, 3 10 agains.
Okay. So you get to re-roll those. You're at 2 successes currently.
Yeah, 2 successes, 7 damage.
You only deal the 2? Okay. Yeah. So you've dealt 7 damage to the snake. Alright. Let's see. Would it want to run away? Let's do the snake's wits and composure. Boopity boop. Nope. It's pissed. So now that you're
this poor thing was just minding its own fucking business, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like...
Well, it was chasing something else.
Yeah.
Something about the size of a dog.
Yeah.
But anyhow.
Well, the problem is, it's like, snake, 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 snake.
It's a snake, yes. Shit. No! I dropped a die next to my bed.
Nah, yeah.
I don't want to lose it. I 22 dice. I'll be down. Alright, there, I got it. It was a recovered die. Alright, so the snake snaps at you again, trying to, Well, actually, no. It, immediately goes to wrap around you.
Okay.
Yeah. I need you to make a contested grapple.
It's a strength?
It's strength athletics. I believe that's what grappling was. It might be strength brawl. Yeah, it's strength brawl.
Strength brawl? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, roll 3 times. I have a 9 and a 1, so that's...
Just a cancel.
No successes, yeah.
That's unfortunate. I only had 1 success.
So he's wrapping around me?
So the snake begins to wrap around you. This ruins your ability to fire your rifle.
I can't shoot?
No, it's wrapped around you. It's a 12-foot long snake that is as thick as your leg, surprisingly stout. It's not like a... But it's wrapped around you, and it's going to start compressing you in a minute.
Okay. Can I still...
So
can I
you
still
can
point my
use
gun
your
at it?
turn to try to break free.
Well, here's the thing. It's wrapped around me. I still got my gun in a hand. Can I just shoot into its body?
So you were firing a rifle, which takes 2 hands, but you had, like, I don't know how, because, like, it's wrapped around you in such a way. It's compressed your arms to your side. Like, it just tackled over you. You fucking knocks you prone and starts wrapping around you like a snake does.
Well, is my hand still holding onto the rifle, and can I still reach the trigger?
Yeah, but you might shoot yourself.
I'd rather shoot myself than be eaten by a snake.
It's true. That was a good point. You could try to break free of it, but I'm just saying.
Is like his body wrapped around the gun, or can I still point the gun and shoot him?
No, you can't point the gun. It's pushing the gun against your body. Like, it took you wholesale, started wrapping over you, and the gun is entangled.
If I were to shoot, what would the roll look like here?
It's -3.
-3? Okay,
yeah.
I still roll 5 times, so I'll do it.
You have 8 gun dice?
Yeah.
Nice. Now, it's not a machine gun, you realize.
Yeah, it is.
And then the Grand is not a machine gun.
Oh. So I'd have 4 then.
Yes.
I still got 4.
Okay. I'm going to give you this, though. If you full out fail, I'm going to roll and see if you shoot yourself.
Roll. I got a failure.
Oh my god. So, the gun is wedged against you. What's its damage? Is it only do... It does 3 or 2 lethal?
I don't know. Hang on. I had to try it, man. It's 4 lethal.
Oh my gosh. And it's a 9 again.
Yeah. I'd rather kill myself than get eaten by this thing.
Hold on.
My dead body. That's fine.
You take 2 lethal as you shoot yourself in the fucking calf.
I shot myself in the leg?
Yeah.
Okay. Ah, fuck!
Now the snake's going to compress you.
Okay.
Which is a lot easier to do now you have a damaged limb. So the snake begins to crush on you.
Okay.
Like, oh man, you have such beautiful eyes. I didn't notice till I got so close. Anyhow. Oh, cool.
Wait.
It does 2...
Wait, stop. I still have 1 defense. So I took 1 damage.
You lose your defense when you're grappled.
I didn't know that.
You take 2 bashing damage as you feel it crush you with an amazing force. Like you feel like one of your ribs popped.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do.
Huh.
I'm going to fire again. Slightly better.
You're not going to struggle to break free?
No, because I'm going to use my willpower to get my 7 rolls instead of 4.
Okay.
1 willpower.
Okay. I mean, sure. Sure, go for it.
This was a brilliant idea, but I have no successes.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to roll again for you to shoot yourself. Good. Roll again. This is the shortest campaign I've ever fucking done with it. You take... Oh, right. I get to roll again because I made 2 9s.
Oh, you have a 9 again?
Yeah, I had 2 9s.
Wait. Well, why would you... What, does he have, like, an ability that gives him 9 again?
The gun has 9 again. It's a fucking high powerful rifle.
Yeah, but I didn't roll any 9s.
No,
I didn't roll.
you
I
made it.
I didn't have a failure.
I told you I was gonna roll for your gun to shoot yourself.
Wait a minute. Wait. I didn't roll a failure. I rolled a I rolled just no successes.
And so you didn't have any ones?
No 1s. Just no successes.
That's a failure still. I told you.
It's not a critical failure.
It's not. There is. All right. For a critical failure to occur, you have to be down to a chance die. But I told you the rules for having the gun pressed to your body and firing it. But all right.
I thought that was just for failure, straight up failures. I had no successes. No successes was just
no successes.
You just have no success.
What does no success mean, Eddie?
It means no success. We talked about this in Dents. Because, like, it doesn't necessarily mean you crit fail. When you have failures and no successes, then that's a fail.
All right, Eddie. To botch inside of White Wolf, you have to be on a chance die. I gave you a special ruling on firing your gun while it's pressed against your body. You take 2 more lethal, because I made 2 9s, but I didn't make anything else, so you're lucky.
Okay.
So this time, it's, you're swirling around, you get the gun free. I'm going to say you get an arm free, too, because you spent willpower, and I feel bad for you.
Okay.
And you manage, however, to, like, instead of firing, you get your thumb caught up inside of the mechanism, and that deals the most of the damage to you by taking a big chunk out of between your thumb and your first finger.
Okay, so I didn't actually shoot myself. I just cut myself.
Yeah. You've shot the gun 3 times now. So that time didn't count for a bullet, that 4th time, because the gun didn't fire. You instead got a piece of your hand cut by the mechanism.
Okay. All right.
But it's a bad cut.
Okay. Your move.
Oh, right. Snake continues to compress you.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. Let me see how long compression lasts. Oh, okay. Cool. You take 2 more bashing.
Okay.
You feel another rib pop.
Alright, I'm going to spend a willpower and try to get him off me with a strength check.
Alright.
Wait, it's my strength and my brawl, right?
Yes, it's a contested roll.
Okay.
Here's hoping.
Hang on. 2. Okay. I have 110 again. I have 1 success.
Okay. Alrighty. Oh shit. Let's see how this goes. Ha! That sucks to be you, Eddie. I have 2 successes.
Okay.
I got an 8 and a 10 again, and I rolled and got another 8. I also had a 1, which canceled 1. So I'm unfortunately keep you compressed.
Okay.
So it goes to squeeze you. Oh. Nope. God damn it. I'm gonna fucking kill you. You take 1 bashing. You feel the snake continue to compress your body. But
okay,
I guess you're struggling.
I'm gonna spend another willpower and try to shoot again. Fuck this.
Okay. I feel so bad.
You should.
It's been a while since I've killed a player. I'm just like, the first thing you encounter murders you. You're lucky it didn't bite
yet,
you.
Sir. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So,
You're gonna have to bat in. Ends with a vor seed.
Shush. 3 successes. They're all.
Oh, hey.
They're 2 10s, and 1 9. So they're 3 agains.
Oh, yeah.
Two failures. So it'll be 1 success so far. I'm gonna roll again 3 times. I had another success, so 2 successes. That success is a 10. Rolling again. 2 successes.
All right. So
shoot this bastard.
Yes, you deal some damage to the snake. It is unhappy.
Yes.
Yes. It is unhappy. Luckily for the snake, though, it doesn't fall unconscious. And also, it doesn't start to take aggravated damage.
Okay.
However, it might run away.
Okay.
It does not run away. It's pissed.
I like that I've drained it of lethal, though. It's like...
Yes.
I've hurt this fucking snake. I feel good about that.
You've been shooting the shit out of the snake. Shooting the shit with the snake. Okay, so... Actually, it's pretty damaged. I forgot to remove dice from its level of damage.
What are you doing?
It's trying to compress you, but it's doing terrible. Right. I might remove 2 bashing off you because I forgot to decrease its dice for the level of damage it's taken.
Okay.
So you're going to lose 2 bashing because I'm a bad DM.
Yeah,
anyhow.
Thank you.
The snake is weakened, and it tries to compress you, but it seemingly is hurting from its wounds.
Okay.
So you shot the snake 6 times. You've only expended... No. Yeah, you've only expended 4 bullets. So I think it has a 6-bullet cartridge. It might be 8.
It's 8 plus 1. There's 1 in the magazine and 8 in the there's 8 in the magazine and 1 in the
Oh, okay. So you have 5 more bullets. Okay. Good for you.
Yay. Did it fail to compress me?
Yeah, it failed to compress you. It's your turn. It
Oh.
also lets you go because I was only can only do that so many times.
Okay, cool. All right,
So it slithers off of you and like turns back on you. Maybe you're shooting it, made it stop or whatever, but it still seems to want to kill you.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend another. Oh shit! God, keep on flying all over my character sheet. Hang on.
And potentially, you're also prone.
Can I stand and shoot?
Yeah, you can stand and shoot.
Okay. How much willpower?
Just consumes your move.
I spent 3 willpower, right?
I thought you've only spent 2.
2 willpower, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna spend another willpower to shoot it again.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah.
First animal Eddie encounters.
I'm a war man, sir.
Yeah, this thing starts singing the Caw song at you.
Oh, good. Okay, 3 successes, 1 failure. So that's 2 successes. 2 of them are a 9 and a 10, so I roll 2 more times. 2 successes.
Okay. I'll roll the snakes. Keeping a wakey. Oh, wow. So, shooting the snake knocks it out. Like,
yay.
It's taken so much damage that it starts to, fade.
Okay. Alright, so it's unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just keeping track of my ammo, right, real quick. Alright, I'm going to take out my Colt M19, and I'm gonna put the gun to the thing's head and shoot.
Okay, coup de grace. Snake is dead.
Yay! And I don't think I have a knife on me.
I mean, you would have.
Am I hungry at all?
You wouldn't. No, but you're hurting. Your hand is bleeding from where the not the mechanism. What is it called? The action. Took a clip out of your hand.
Yeah. I've taken 4.
Should have made you clear the breach of human skin, but whatever. What?
I've taken 4 lethal and 3 bashing.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wow. That's a lot. Okay, so you're at a -2.
No, I've got still 4 left. I've got 8.
No.
What do you mean?
Your health bar, the last 3 boxes are a -1, a -2, and a -3.
But I don't have any. I'm not in the last 3 boxes.
You have 7 damage.
I have 3 bashing damage and 4.
You have 7 total damage. This is why I was trying to explain the health earlier. It works like this. Different damages are of different stages, but you still have 8 health. So your health boxes fill up with bashing damage. That's the least level of damage. And if you take more than your health boxes worth of bashing damage, it converts to lethal. If you take more than your health box damage of lethal, it converts over to aggravated. Now, there's still the last 3 boxes you have come at a minus of 1, 2, and 3. Once you fill up with all damage, you're at a -3, obviously, because your character is so haggard and beaten that they can't function as well as they normally do. Now, whether your health is filled up with lethal, bashing, or aggravated, well, if it's filled with aggravated, you die. But if it's filled up with any sort of damage, you still have to take those minuses because it's like you've just been beaten so much that you're just unable to, like, you're shaking with pain, you're on the verge of shock, and shit like that gets in the way. But the way it works is you still have only those 8 boxes. So you have 4 lethal and 3 bashing in there. Now the bashing will recover at a rate of 15 minutes per, and it takes the least severe damage first. Mm-hmm. So once you get over to the lethal, that takes a day to recover from, and so forth. So in about an hour, you'll be okay from the bashing, despite the fact that I made it sound like cracked ribs. It's more or less like you're more able to accept the fact that you have bruised ribs and move around, you know what I mean? I guess it's probably not. But yeah, health is very small, actually, inside of this game, which is why it's kind of dangerous to always be fighting.
Uh-huh.
It's more Half-Life level than D&D's. You get fucking punched by a demigod and walk it off.
Yeah, I didn't know any of this, and
it's okay. Like, I always wanted to sit down and explain the health.
Whatever.
Alright. Anyhow. So, yeah.
I was to understand that if I got to the last 3 of bashing, lethal or aggravated, I would start getting penalties on me. So
there's not, like
a -8.
Hold on. You only have 8 health. You don't have different boxes for different types of damage.
Yeah, but you're supposed to you're supposed to mark it a certain way on that box. So it's like I should really only have 4 in the front that's covered in lethal. Like that's overriding, so I should still have
the most severe form of damage goes to the left. And you fill it out left to right.
Okay.
So if you had aggravated, you'd have a point of aggravated there, then you'd have your 4 lethal.
Whatever.
Okay. Anyhow. So you shoot the snake in the head. It stops breathing. It's just lying there dead. You got your hand wound, you got your bruised ribs, and you got your shot in the leg. It's more or less a grazing than anything, but it still sucks. Hey! Go lay over there. That's your bed. That's dirty. I got his old sheets that he used to lay on over here, and he wants the stink back. I ain't letting him have the stink. Alright, then. So your plane is how
far away am I from the silver thing that I noticed?
Well, you haven't reached the edge of the field yet, but after that would probably be another click.
Okay, I'm gonna try to persevere on and get to the thing.
All right.
I'm gonna take the snake's body with me. I'm gonna need to eat something.
It's a 12-foot snake. They are not light. That's about 400 pounds of snake.
I'll leave it to fucking rot. Who cares?
So as you're walking along, you see other creatures. Some look threatening, but they don't leave their tree. Others fly overhead. Let me see if you encounter anything dangerous. No. Okay. So you eventually reach the shiny thing. And to your surprise, it's a building. It's just got all this overgrowth over it. It's a white building, but it's, could be faded. And it has a lot of glass on the exterior. You could see like a strange circle at the top that's split into two with a circle in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fathom what it was, but the faded paint on it has one side looking kind of pinkish.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gray bar separating the two halves, and also around the center circle inside of it that's probably like a boob. It's like an eighth the size of the overall circle.
Okay.
But you see a door in front of you that's a glass door, which is strange because, it's the 1940s. But they probably had glass doors, yeah. But it has no handles. It's just two rectangles of glass meeting together with a tight seam between them. I guess you wouldn't recognize it as a door, to be honest.
Yeah,
No, they had automatic doors.
Yeah.
They had automatic doors back then. They had to have had automatic doors back in the 1940s.
Well, if nothing else, we had revolving doors. I could probably figure out it's a door.
Okay.
All right, is there anything hostile looking nearby?
There is nothing hostile looking nearby. You could do a presence roll, but let's see. I'm going to roll to see if there's anything hostile nearby. No. There's, critters. You hear a light buzz.
What kind of critters?
Well, you see, these very large caterpillars. They're strange. They have a sort of a unicorn effect. They have this big, kind of blunt and fat-looking horn coming out of their head. They're yellow, and they're probably 4 foot long. And they're hanging from string from a tree. There's other things next to them that make you think of butterfly pupa, except they look a lot more angry. And they're just sitting there, and you hear a buzz also in the tree.
Is it near me?
Well, the tree is across the road.
All right, so are these bugs blocking the doorway?
No. Those are just things nearby.
All right, I'm gonna keep an eye on them, but approach the door and try to open it.
Okay, well, it's got a very tight seam to it. You'd need a tool probably to open it or to figure a way through it.
Is there a stick?
You could try breaking it or whatever. It's a very tight seam. So you're at a -2. Be a strength roll. Anything else? Yeah, strength athletics.
I have a chance roll.
Oh, okay.
No success.
All right.
All right.
So you try to pry it
open with the butt of the rifle. Break the door open.
Oh, okay. The loud shatter echoes through what you realize is an overgrown, sort of treed area, probably ruins of whatever was around it as civilization.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear the buzz stop for a moment and then get louder.
I look to see if they're approaching.
The bugs on the thing are scurrying up the tree. You see the branches sway as a person-sized wasp is the easiest way to describe it, starts to fly out and seemingly scout around. And then several others join it. Okay. So as you enter, the inside is actually relatively clean and overgrown or anything like that. It's strangely nice. Kind of wish you hadn't broke the door because now you essentially left an opening to a possible
well, what am I
habitat.
gonna do with the fucking chance die? I'm gonna fuck. Only way to get.
Anyhow, you see a few like bodies. Well, not bodies anymore, skeletons, with the their desiccated forms and their clothing lying on the ground. There's also some skeletons of some creatures you couldn't possibly hope to recognize.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just all that, just lying there on the ground. There's a row of chairs. It looks relatively even more sophisticated than when you went to Manhattan that one time and got to walk inside of the Chrysler Building. And it's lovely. It's all nice and well cleaned. There's obviously the bodies is the problem, but they've long been dead, probably even for hundreds of years from the looks and the lack of smell.
Mm-hmm. Okay, is that wasp coming in?
No.
Okay. I'm going to move briskly away from the broken door. And
all right.
Make sure that thing doesn't come in. I examine the facility a little more closely. Is there...
Okay. There's the body of a man sitting in a chair. There's a counter with the body of what looks to be a nurse from the hat with the rectangle on, or the plus sign on it. Right. There as well behind it. So you could tell it's probably a medical facility. There's even a computer in the corner. There's also stairways leading up on the left. There's ways to enter what looks to be the back of the office next to them.
All right, so there's a computer, there's a stairway leading up, and there's a doorway to the back of the office?
Yes.
Is that it?
Well, there's the bodies.
Okay. I'm going to go to the computer. I'm keeping my eye on the door. Make sure nothing comes in. I'm going to try to turn the computer on.
Okay.
Intelligence computers with a -2.
You have computers 1, I thought.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Yes.
3. So.
All right. Oh, okay. So you get 2.
No successes.
All right. Well, you try to work the computer, and I didn't get to finish. It's unpowered.
I plugged the computer in.
No, it's plugged in. It just doesn't have any power.
All right.
Now in your, hold on. You know that hospitals and similar things.
I had any training with is very primitive computers or radar equipment and stuff like that, like analog technology. So this is they didn't. The thing that the computers they had back in the day are like macro computers.
I know what they are.
Yeah, those.
I know about the dinosaurs.
So,
yeah.
I actually take a moment to realize that this is a microcomputer, and I'm just like, wow, this is an advanced. They're really talking about miniaturizing this thing. That's pretty cool. God damn it, my leg hurts. Okay. I'm gonna try to go in the back door.
All right. The door opens. It's just a floppity flop door. There's other bodies back there. Some leaning over desks. Some look actually like they got ravaged a little. Mm-hmm. But there's also the dead random skeletons of strange creatures there. You think some look like cats, like a cat skeleton you're reminded of.
And again, these
dog
things
maybe.
Have been here a long time. They don't smell anymore, do they?
No, it's desiccated.
All right, I'm gonna close the door behind me.
Okay.
And
it's a floppity door. It just closes, just swings for a while, limply.
Okay, that's better than nothing. I'm gonna.
There's other computers back there. There's even what looks to be another door, probably going to the basement, and another door that probably opens from the back.
I'm gonna try those computers. See if I can get those to work. No successes.
Also, it's dim because there's only light filtering through, from behind the desk where opening. Not the desk, but the counter up front. There was an opening there. There's light filtering through. It's somewhat dim. But yeah, you can see that there's medical supplies and stuff here as well.
I'm gonna use the medical supplies.
Oh, okay.
All right, can I can treat.
Oh, by the way, for time passing, you do lose a point of bashing.
I lose a what? A what?
A point of bashing.
Yay!
From time passing.
Yay! Okay, so
Yay,
I'm
indeed.
-1 penalty now, right?
Yes.
Yay! I hate not figuring this shit out last second. That's why I'm sounding so perturbed. It's like I thought I understood this shit, and it's like, oh no, you don't. Here's -2 to everything. Like, fuck.
Sorry.
Feel bad. All right. I'm gonna treat my lethal wounds. Like
okay,
in
so
particular,
you can,
that shot.
your hand is mostly clotted and scabbed up, and your wound on your leg is just mostly a graze. So it's easy to treat them and wrap them and bandage them if you had medical skill.
Wait. Well, that's with intelligence, right? Because I don't have.
But if you'll
medicine.
notice, you get a -3 for intelligence-based roll.
Okay. So that would be... I'd have a chance roll.
But since you have equipment, I'm going to say it's a 2.
It's a 2? Okay.
You get 2 dice.
Alright, no successes.
Cool. So you try to bandage up your hand, you do.
I start with my leg.
This will mostly accelerate the healing process. But you're not going to immediately feel better.
Okay,
dun,
so
dun, dun.
would I heal a point of lethal in 1 day? As opposed to 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Alright, yeah, I bandage myself as best I can. You know, I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing, but he does the best he can. He bandages himself up. Are there any files? This looks like an office.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna look for paperwork, see if I can find anything.
You also see trays with round divots in them.
Trays with
and
what
you
on
see trays with like 6 round divots in them. Like depressions, circular depressions, like they could carry eggs, except these eggs are the size of a fist.
Okay.
And you see scattered on the ground and in other places these little red and white balls.
I pick up one of the balls.
Okay. The ball is separated into a white hemisphere and a red hemisphere, and between them is a black line. And then, as you rotate it, you see on one part of it, there's a little white circle, like a button. And, hold on, make an intelligence roll.
Okay.
Nah, it's pretty simple. I might just give it to you. But try to make an intelligence roll.
I don't make an intelligence roll because I got I got 1 success.
That's fine. So you realize that this is a version of what you saw on the outside of the building.
Okay.
And it's like, why would a medical facility have a ball in it? A strange 2-dimensional representation. Hey! The fuck, dog?
Suddenly some guy was screaming about his dog being bad.
No. He started eating my food. I had a can, and he walked up and started licking out of the can. Bad dog. No.
I'm looking at this thing. I basically figured out that it's some kind of... It's like something... It's holding something in it, right? It's like some kind of like... This is like... This is an egg-shaped case that if I push the button will open up. That's what I'm assuming I've deduced. There's a bunch of dead bodies around me. There's a bunch of skeletons of monsters. It's probably fair to say that these things were killed by those monsters, but it is a medical facility. It's a weird object that's got, like, that's containing it. For all I know, there was some kind of, like, maybe there's some kind of chemical in these things that may have killed these people. So I'm going to put it down in the impression right now. I'm going through right now because I don't know.
Alright.
I mean, Eddie knows what they are, but Jake doesn't. Jake doesn't know. Jake never seen it before.
That's fine.
I'm going to look for, is there any paperwork in here? Anything, like, written down or, like, journals or anything like that?
It is, but it's a writing you don't know. It's not a
language at all?
No. You could be fucking kanji for all you know, or hieroglyphics. No, it's the language to you.
Could I possibly make a roll to decipher it?
Yeah, sure. Ah, shit.
Would that be an
Fucking
intelligence
spiders. I was walking outside to throw this can out, and fucking spiders. Fucking Florida. Spiders everywhere. But it would be in intelligence academics.
Okay.
Actually, I think linguistics is a skill. But it's something you buy into.
I don't have
Whatever.
academics, so that would be a chance roll.
Mm-hmm.
2. Never mind. I can't read it.
Okay. You decipher nothing from the strange language that you see.
Shit.
Can't believe you little asshole.
It doesn't look
trying
like
to
it doesn't look like anything like remotely on Earth that I would be familiar with.
I mean, do you know cuneiform?
What is cuneiform like?
Sumerian writing?
Sumerian writing. I mean, you might be able to recognize it as Sumerian writing, or like recognize that it's like hieroglyphs or something like that. Or...
Well, no, it looks similar to cuneiform, but it's not cuneiform. Just saying, like, it's just a strange writing that you can't understand, much less the language that it's written in. Maybe if you had a few years stranded here.
I might get that. Oh God! I just figured out what you're gonna do to me. I know what's gonna happen. You're gonna turn me into the guy from
Can't believe you.
God's from King Kong. That's what you're gonna do.
Maybe.
All right, I'm gonna fight an Asian guy. Then I'm gonna be friend. All right. I'm gonna check the doorway to the basement.
Okay.
I'm just not smart enough to decipher this stuff. That's the problem.
All right.
He's being careful, but he's just not. He doesn't have. He's not the thinking type. He's the shooting type.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the doorway, it's not locked. No unexpected, but it's not locked. It's dark as pitch down there, but you see a little red light.
Cautiously approach the light.
Okay, so you have to go down some stairs. So it's quiet down there. Not like or anything. You see a little red. And so the red light's on the side of some object.
What is the object?
It's dark. Hell. You're in a fucking basement. No light.
I touched the object.
Okay, it's solid. It's
Solid what?
It's solid and made of metal.
I go back upstairs and see if I can find a flashlight.
All right. You do not.
Okay. Okay.
Well, hold on. Flashlights do exist in the Pokemon universe. My brain went, no, they'd just use flash. And I'm like, really? They'd use fucking flash? No, they wouldn't. All right, but anyhow. But yes, you do find a flashlight.
Okay. All right. Got a flashlight. Does it work? Turn it on.
Barely. It's got a weak light. It's flickering. You can go out any moment.
All right, I turn it off. I go back down and I turn it on the object to see if I can make out the object.
Okay. It's got like a few buttons on it, a switch, a lever switch, and it's got some of that strange writing on the side with another variation. You could probably determine that it was numbered. But yeah.
Do I have any idea what this thing is?
Well, it has power, or else it will be able to make light.
Do I see anything that would look like
So,
a power button?
hold on. You can make an intelligence roll.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of something here that would work for you. Investigation! Sure, why not?
Yay!
Intelligence investigation.
Okay. It could be +2. No successes.
Rolling like ass today. Alright, gosh, it's really
This is the part in the survival horror game where you just can't figure out the puzzle. That's what this is.
It's true.
Yeah, it's just like you're there for the first time, you don't know what's going on. Alright, I go back upstairs.
Under the light, you notice that red light you see
Yeah.
is a small button.
Sure, I push the button.
Hey! So other things illuminate on it. You see a circle with a line through it, and a few other things with that random. No. No. You see a circle, not just a symbol, but a circle with a line through it.
Okay.
A vertical line in a circle doesn't go all the way through it. It just clips through one side at the.
Okay. Does that look like it's a button?
Yes. Okay. You hear a soft, like, wind up that goes from, like, a low. And suddenly, lights start coming on overhead, like flickering on. What?
I say to myself, this must be a generator.
Hey.
What do I see in the room now that the lights are coming on?
You see pipes, you see more of those red balls, except they're in stacks and all sorts of things. You see, like, things that you really can't wrap your mind around, like, machine-wise. Like, you see one machine there that literally just looks like it fits those trays in it. You don't know what it does from there.
Mm-hmm.
And you see...
Is it chemical weapons or something? What the hell? Maybe it's medicine.
But yeah, there's also a cabinet, probably contains supplies, all sorts of stuff in there. It's just a basement. Okay, it contains more medical supplies. You see there's more of those red and white balls in there. You see, like, little spray bottles.
Can I make heads or tails of spray bottles?
Well, there's icons on them. You see one has, like, a fire on it. Another one has, like, a plus sign on it. It looks like the nurse's hat plus. It's a red plus. You see one that has, like, you know, these strange little lightning bolts on it. Another one that has, like, a purple, several little, like, circles on it.
Could I use any more of the medical supplies, or do I have to wait, like, you know, in order to... Would I get any benefit from using more? Okay. What was it? Intelligence plus, intelligence.
Well, this would be intelligence medicine to understand what these would probably be.
So
but investigation could probably point you in the right way.
Oh, no, it would be 2 because of last time, right? The medicine, the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to treat myself some more.
Oh, okay. Which bottle do you use?
Well, I use the stuff that looks like it's medical supplies, not necessarily the stuff that's like some weird thing.
Oh, okay, so you don't touch the bottles.
No.
There's more medical supplies upstairs. Like, you've bandaged yourself adequately.
I go back up and I get 1 success.
What?
I can't use
No, you've already bandaged yourself.
Okay, I can't use any more basic medical supplies.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna carry some medical supplies on my person.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah,
So you go back upstairs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back upstairs, get some more medical supplies, and I'm going
You
to...
see the computers are on.
I investigate the computers.
Okay, they got the weird symbols on them and so forth. These look like they have what looks to be a need for a password.
Do I have any clues that would suggest the password?
The clues that... No, sorry. I mean, you could try searching through the dresser, or the drawers, or the desks, or whatever.
I do.
Alright, so I need you to make a investigation and intelligence roll.
Okay.
Decipher what's actually useful or not.
Alright, 3 successes, 1 10 again.
Oh, cool.
Three successes to search for password.
Okay. Well, you do find like a similar symbol to what looks like the prompt for the password, and then some symbols next to it that are on the keyboard.
Alright, I try to use those. See if it works.
Okay, you enter those, and it just sits there with a cursor.
Is there something like an enter button?
Maybe. You just have to press button.
I press a button that I think would execute.
Alright, so it's a computer roll. Let's see if it is.
Intelligence computers?
Yeah.
Okay. No successes.
So you press a button and it adds another character behind the password.
I guess I'll just futz around with this until I get a success. I'm going to make another computer roll.
Okay. So
One success.
you find the delete key so you can get rid of that extra character.
Get rid of that
And
extra
I'm just going to give it to you because you're going to keep fucking with it. So yes, it unlocks the... it unlocks. And you see some files. You also see, like, you know, their background is like some lady and a husband, supposedly, because of how they're like holding each other.
And they are human, correct?
They are human.
Okay. Any ethnicity I would recognize?
I mean, the husband's tan, the wife is pale.
Do I see anything here that looks like a language I would recognize?
No. It's just a bunch of folders. Gotta say, when you were rolling those computer skills, you would have noticed that there's a touchpad that moves the cursor whenever you move around your finger on it.
Okay.
So you're like, oh, what's this little thing do? And you click, highlights something.
I first of all stare and wonder at this thing. It's like they combined a movie screen with a macro computer. That's amazing. Spend a good 5 minutes just wowing at the discovery of a graphical user interface, seeing as how I would have no clue what that is.
Even though you had a fucking shoot lasers and shit out of your plane. But go on.
Actually, okay, well, did I have a graphical user interface? Did I have access to, like, technology that was...
It was more like radial dials.
Yeah, I figured it was like comic book analog. It's like Captain America shit. It was like... So, analog tech. Alright, I'm gonna examine the files and see if I can make heads or tails of any of this. Like, if I can draw conclusions without understanding the language.
So, there's a file that's filled with a lot of files. The file that's filled with a few icons. One looks like a camera. Another one looks like director's the little cinematography thing that they use to clip when they say action or cut.
I click on those.
Yeah, when you click on the camera thing, there's some pictures. It's more pictures of the lady, and it looks to be her husband. They're having like a birthday party. And when you click on the movie one, you get to hear them. They're talking. It's showing a little video of them. And you don't understand what the conversation's about. It's like listening to Sims talk. No, yes, it's almost. Yeah, I love Simonese. Anyhow, you don't understand what they're saying, but it looks to be like an average conversation between a husband and a wife. And then, like, there's a reveal, and the guy holds up a creature that you don't recognize.
What does it look like?
It's pink, has long ears, it's got a soft, velvety fur on its body, curly tail behind it. It's got black tips on its ears and delicate black beady eyes.
Out of character, I recognize that as a Pikachu.
Not a Pikachu. These aren't.
Oh. I don't know nothing about Pokemon. Alright, anyway. It's a furry little furball thing. It's like I'm on some alien world or something. Maybe I'm on Mars. Did they blast me to Mars?
John Carter. Jake Steele of Mars.
Jake Steele of Mars. Can I jump really high?
But yes.
I'm gonna look at more videos, see what I can see.
So there's like one that looks like a guy talking on a stage. There's another random creature that he's like gesturing at, and like he gestures for it to come. It walks over. It's large and blue. It's got a horn on its nose. It's got big old ears. It's got like a white tummy with like patterns across its torso. It's got a big thick tail and large thick arms and brutal fucking claws for fingers. And it's blue. And then a very terrifying, similar looking creature to that one, covered in big ass spines, and also with a much larger like horn coming out of between its eyes, and it has a long no, it doesn't have a long muzzle, but they both have a muzzle that's stout. This one, however, has like big fucking teeth, bigger, thicker body, and you get the impression that one's male and one's female.
It's like they were screwing around on this island with all the monsters here, studying them. Maybe breeding them? Look for more videos. Because the picture speaks 1,000
Okay.
words.
You start to see there's a great plethora of these creatures. As you watch the videos, you see that there's multitudes of different ones that exist. You see even one that attacked you earlier.
The snake.
And yes, snake.
Snake.
It's yes.
Snake.
It's
Are you
like
there? Snake. Snake.
it's there with a person, and it starts like reeling back on itself and wriggling at the sky, and then it starts to glow, and then it turns to a bigger, more horrifying snake with a big hood like a cobra, face on it, a very rudimentary face, but with like this horrible, like toothy, gnarled. And the snake itself is just a rather larger snake,
Man,
like twice the size of the snake you saw.
Good thing I killed that snake when I did. Jeez, I didn't know it could do that.
I heard you.
Look for more videos.
Okay.
You know, I've been at war a long time. This is great. You know, this is a picture show, and I just relax and chill out.
So you're digging through files, and there's text files, and there's videos, and you eventually run out of videos that you can easily find.
All right, I'm gonna fly around look for pictures, and I'm just gonna try to get. I'm trying to get like the visual data to get, because that's I can't read the language, so I mean, That's the best way I can gather information. Is just
Okay.
by looking at shit.
There's one that's like a picture of like a person covered by a blanket, and you could tell from the layout it's a crime scene. There's like markers around it, and there's the like sort of like police tape is the easy way to say it. There's these strange ladies around it that look very similar.
These alien people have cops, at least.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, all these cops, they're women. Heck say it.
Well, like the dead body are women?
No. The dead body is
All
obscured by a blanket.
All the cops are chicks.
All the cops are these ladies, and they look exactly the same. They have bluish hair, they wear bluish uniforms, a little hat on top with a red
They
brim.
look like identical, like they're triplets, or like you know.
Oh, there's 5 of them in the picture, and they all look exactly.
They look like the same person. Quintuplets. That can't be a coincidence. Maybe it is. All right. Someone got killed by these monsters.
So there's more pictures. There's like a burning house. Then there's like other destruction pictures.
What the hell happened here? Look for more pictures. Look for more pictures.
Okay. You find some more of the personal pictures. You find some. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been sitting there just relaxing, looking at pictures. You also notice that the air is delightfully cool.
Okay. I think air conditioning exists by this point.
Yeah, it did. They made it back in like 19.
Yeah. It's like, oh, good, I got the air conditioning on.
I mean, it's super fucking fancy because air conditioning is rare then.
Yeah.
I think it was made in 19, so you'd have like 20 years of uptake.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Nice. All right. More pictures. Anything I find? Anything new?
It's personal pictures, some autopsies of some of the creatures,
Right.
pictures of the creatures through different stages.
This is a couple that was romantically involved, and they're scientists. I think it's something like you probably right?
Maybe.
I interrupted you though. What else did I say?
Well, there's pictures of the creatures, like, and their injuries, and then, like, later not being injured. There's, like, people, like, hugging the creatures, and, like, playing with the creatures.
Okay, so they're animals. Some of them are dangerous, some of them are not. They can be domesticated. Okay. All right.
So, you hear a clatter out.
I hear a clatter out front.
Yeah.
Okay. Draw my rifle and very carefully make my way to the
Okay. So, are you going to open the door? Are you going to look through the over the counter? What?
Look over the counter.
All right. Let me really fast think about what it is. Eddie.
Yeah.
Give me a random topology.
A random what?
Oh, a random. Just give me an animal. Animal.
Penguin.
Okay. Damn it. Okay. So you see on the other side of the well, did you look over the counter or did you look through the door? I'm sorry.
I look over the counter.
Okay. You see a yellow, wide-billed bird walking around at 2 feet, aimlessly bumbling around through things. It's got a tail. It has little web feet. It's got arms, and it's got just these large eyes with beady little pupils that are just looking around aimlessly.
Does it look aggressive or dangerous?
It looks stupid.
I'm gonna observe it for a few minutes and just kind of look at it. I got my hand on my rifle, but I'm not just gonna watch it.
Okay, it's like walking around. It's looking at like things. It doesn't seem to have a lot of intelligence, and it sees, I guess, something that entertains it near one of the trays with the red and white balls in them.
Okay.
And it goes to grab or hop or climb the trays, and it falls back, and the balls go flying into the air from the overturned tray, bouncing around on the ground, and then one bounces off of the ground and hits the duck in the, or not the duck, but yeah, it's a duck. It hits it in the fucking face. It makes a wah noise from the impact, and then all of a sudden you see something crazy happen. The duck disappears into a red flash as the ball opens up and consumes it.
I stare at the scene for about 5 minutes in disbelief.
By the way, this duck creature was like 4 foot tall, and it disappeared into a fist-sized ball.
So these things are designed to capture these things. Okay. All right.
It's funny you said penguin. It's just so hilarious to me.
Thank you. How many of these balls can I carry on my person?
You can carry a lot of them on your person.
Like how many?
As many as you can hold. You don't have a bag or anything. I mean, one of the corpses might have a bag.
Does any of the corpses have the bag?
Yeah. Find the corpse of a small boy. There's a big book bag.
Sorry, kid, but I need this more than you do.
Okay.
Take the book bag.
The fabric is not organic. Like, it's strange to you, but the fabric is like more of a plasticky sensation to it, and is surprisingly okay in condition for how long it's been sitting there. The bag has some things in it.
I look at the things that are in the bag.
Okay, there's some more balls.
John Rice Davies is the kid from King Kong.
Right? Okay, I don't know.
That's him. No, that's fucking Gimli.
What?
I can't remember the name of the guy from King Kong. He's a really good actor. I feel really bad I can't remember his name.
Oh.
Okay, Patsy Riley. Patsy Riley. It's Patsy Riley. I confused him with John Rice Davies, and I feel bad. I'm sorry. They're both from the land of the three named people. Okay. What's in the book bag?
There's some binders and folders. You see a strange little red thing made out of what looks to be metal, like a makeup case, maybe.
Examine it all.
It's got a blue lens. You examine it?
Yeah.
You can open it up. When you open it up, you see it has a screen that just flashes to life and a few buttons on it.
Okay.
It's got a few pictures of critters on it. There's some sigils next to it and so forth.
Does it look like stuff I've already seen before?
It's a little different.
Okay, I'm going to keep that in the bag. I looked through the binders. What do I see?
The strange writing, but in handwriting form, and obviously messy, childish form.
Okay. Can I make any sense out of them?
No. It's not close enough to your language for you to understand, old white bread.
All right. I'm gonna put the binders on a desk in the room I'm in.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you this, but when that ball closed around that little yellow duck,
yeah,
it shook for a while with a red glowing light. The little white button glowed red for a while, and then when it was done, it made a bong noise, like boom.
Okay. I am going to stuff as many of the balls, not that one, not the one with the duck inside of it, but as many of the balls as I can into the backpack.
Stuff the balls in your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many do I get?
So, I mean, what's strange is, like, while you're... Alright, hold on. I have to see if you're lucky enough to cause this interaction. Oh, you are. While you're handling the balls and so forth, you pick one up with a bit firmer grip than normal, and it shrinks. Like,
Okay.
you put a finger on the top and bottom of it, almost, like, centered, and it shrinks down to the size of a grape masher. I mean, you'd probably know what marbles are back in the 1940s.
Okay. Can I do that with all the balls?
Yes, you test this, and it happens.
Okay. John C. Riley. That's the guy's name.
So they go from the size of, like, softballs down to grape mashers.
Okay, so I start deliberately doing that to all the balls to shrink them. How many balls can I stuff in this backpack?
You can fit, like, you can find, like, 50 balls lying around.
Okay. I put 50 of these mysterious balls in the backpack.
Okay.
And close on the backpack. Put on my back.
Okay.
All right, I go back to the computer. Any more pictures?
The computer in the back?
Yeah.
It's more of the same.
I look at some of the files and see if I can make any sense out of them.
Not really, because the concept of computers is very limited back in the day. They were mostly used for discerning calculations and stuff, more so than they were for what we use them for.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave this back room. I'm going to go up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I'm going to look around.
Okay. So when you get to the top, you see that there's computers there as well, one in each corner. There's another group of chairs in a rectangular formation around some sort of kiosk. There's obviously a dead body or three up there of humans and a few others of the creatures.
I examine the kiosk.
Okay. It's sort of just like got some what looks to be pamphlets. There's another one not far from it that has like a complex machine in the center of it.
I look at the pamphlets.
Okay. There's differing like language written on them. Some are faded. No, they wouldn't be faded. They weren't exposed to sun. But they they are pretty just random stuff. There's some that look like, you know, vacation spots, I guess is the best way to describe it. You see, like, fancy little grass huts. You see a bunch of the creatures there. There's one that's like a gigantic snake, but it's made out of a bunch of rocks. And then there's another one that's like a gigantic, horrifying, beastly monster that's blue and yellow with a giant gaping maw filled with 4 very large fangs with fins and whiskers like a giant crazy eel.
More of these weird creatures. All right. There was a rectangular thing. Was that the kiosk, or was there something else?
The rectangles that are around are the kiosks. There is also a machine at one of them. It's sitting there just boopity boop.
Can I make any heads or tails of the machine?
You have no idea what it is. It has 2 sockets on either side that look like they fit a ball. But it also has, like, a computer screen there.
I take one of
Next
the
to
balls
it.
I have and I put it in one of those sockets.
Okay. The screen flickers for a minute. It looks like it's asking for a prompt. There's like this thing that shows like the ball next to a pipe.
Can I make heads or tails of any of this?
It also is putting a little like flashing X on the ball.
Like no. All right, I go.
It has like.
I go down.
Hold on. It has a an icon, a vague outline of what looks to be one of the creatures next to it as it flashes the red X.
I put the ball back in my book bag.
Okay.
I go downstairs and very cautiously pick up the ball that sucked in the duck.
Oh, okay.
I go back and I put that ball.
So hold on. When you pick up the ball,
yeah,
the button happens to be facing you.
Okay.
And you see it flash for a moment.
All right. If nothing happens, I take it and I put it in the machine.
Okay. So you walk upstairs, you put it in the machine, and it has it shows that little duck inside of the ball next to the pipe. And you hear on the other side like a prompting noise.
Does it do anything
Eddie?
else?
No. You hear like this pinging noise drawing your attention to the other side.
I look at the other side.
It's just kind of a X flashing where your ball, like it's the same image with the pipe and so forth, with the little cradle that the ball sits on, except there's no ball there and there's just a flashing X and a ball that flickers with it.
I put one of the balls that I have in the book bag in that spot.
It gives you the icon for empty ball, essentially, is what you've determined it means.
Is there anything else? Any kind of like buttons or anything else that pop up or are noticeable?
There are a few buttons on the side of it, but it seems unhappy that you've given it an empty ball.
I take the empty ball out, put it in my bag. I take the ball with the bird, and I remove it from the tray and just kind of set it down. Like
All right.
And I try to go and look through the computers and see if I can make any more sense of this stuff.
Alrighty. So there is that computer outside in the corner.
Yeah.
And then there's the computers in the back. Which ones are you going to?
Outside in the corner.
Okay. So next to the counter space is a computer that sits there that you tried to turn on earlier but didn't have power. Now it has power. It's sitting there. It's on. And when you walk up to it, there's a little glass circle that you didn't notice before because it didn't draw your attention like it did this time. And it has a red light next to it. And then you feel like a flash of light hits you, and then the light turns green. And then a person pops up on the screen, and they start speaking that weird language. Papa! Alright, but yes.
Weird freaky gibberish. Alright, is the guy giving like a presentation of some kind?
Yes. He's sort of standing next to the computer. He's like a older gentleman. He's got short cut hair, close trim, short shorn, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And he's got a good tan. He's wearing like a white lab coat, so you can assume that he's maybe a scientist.
Dr. Science.
And Dr. Science Man. And he sort of like has one of the machines next to him. and he holds up a Pokemon, or he one of the creatures are next to him. It looks like a cute blue bunny covered in spines, and he has one of those balls. It expands in his hand. He points it at the critter. A red beam comes out. The critter disappears. And then he takes the ball and sets it into a tray underneath the computer, which then kicks the ball back into it. And it just zooms in on the screen as the guy keeps talking, and it shows like a little empty field, and then the little blue bunny creature appears in it in the top left corner. And then he clicks on it, and it shows what looks to be information about the bunny creature.
I keep watching this presentation.
Okay. Essentially, it's a guide to how to use that computer. And it's just going through what's supposed to be done with it.
So basically, I can capture these things in these balls, put them in the machine, and if I spoke this language, I could actually figure out what, information about said creature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that the only information this computer provides?
Yeah.
Okay. I go back upstairs and I check the.
Oh, hold on. Did you pick up the Psyduck from the thing? Because you said you didn't say anything about it.
I set it on a table. I set it on a table next to it. Oh, that was a Psyduck?
Sorry. I shouldn't have told you.
Awesome. Oh. I had a feeling and I was hoping, oh, come on, telepathically communicate with me. Teach me this language. But,
I mean, I don't know why the Psyduck would know the language.
Yeah.
But anyhow.
Animal intelligence.
Yes.
You could teach me duck.
It was a Psyduck.
Well,
but
duck as a language.
Okay. So I have to wreck something. I'll just say you'll ignore it at first. When you picked up the Pokeball with the Psyduck in it, you heard like a mild beep, but you couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
Does it sound like it was a robotic device or a creature?
Robotic device.
Okay.
Very close to you.
Look around.
But there's nothing going on around you. It's like nothing happens for a while, and then like 5 minutes later you get another beep. Couldn't tell where it was then. So as you went through and watching the computer demonstration after messing with the machine upstairs, you had the beep hit you again, and you realize it's in your backpack.
I'll look in the backpack.
You see that there's a little flickering green light on the red case.
I look at the red case.
All right. When you open it up, it has a picture of the Psyduck. Starts putting some stats next to it that are different from the stats you saw earlier. It starts speaking in the strange tongue. Literally says Psyduck, and continues on in the weird tongue.
Psyduck.
Psyduck.
Baguette croissant. Chominade.
Psyduck. Yes. All right.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Mm-hmm.
¿Dónde está Psyduck?
Soy Psyduck.
Ik ben Psyduck. Sprechen Sie Psyduck.
OS Psyduck. I don't know any other language.
Bulleman Jinima Psyduck. Bulleman Jinima Psyduck.
Wait, hold on. Yog Psyduck. Anyhow, so
we're so culturally sensitive. Anyway,
the Swedish. All right. Unfortunately, Eddie, it's getting towards my bedtime.
You and Accentius. You know what happened? You know what happened? He's like, we're in the middle of a fight. He's like, oh, I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to bed because I got a thing to do in the morning. And the next
I
time,
have to go watch my nieces. If I'm tired, they'll kill me in my sleep.
yeah, same shit. He gave me the same bullshit. You know what we could have done? We killed, like the gods killed Azathoth in 4 moves. 4 fucking moves. If that fucking asshole had waited 5 minutes, I would have had 1 less session to deal with. 1 less, sir. 1 fucking less. Anyway.
So he resolved the game.
Yeah. Well, we actually had a proper session to finish Azathoth, but it was like, yeah, no, that fucking boss fight lasted 3 fucking sessions. It's fucking insane. I mean, there was like the first one where we got to the point where like he fixed the universe, and oh, by the way, Braca may or may not be dead.
What?
Yeah. Metal Chronicles conclusion. So, he went back in time because he put the stone back, but it was too late to save the universe. But you never left like, Kathleen's little house. So essentially, what happened to Braca is Braca was just kind of sleeping there, and he woke up and found a bunch of scarabs and started eating them because they're tasty. Then all of a sudden, he looks outside and sees the world's exploding. And what essentially happened was in that timeline, the universe did explode. So that could potentially have killed Braca. But then again, it's Braca. So it's entirely possible that you could just survive the explosion of the universe.
It says a time stop. Wait, is time stop ruined?
Huh?
Could he still time stop?
He can time stop, yeah.
He just leaves himself paused in time so he could eat all the paused bugs.
He eats all the bugs in the universe before it's destroyed. But here's the thing. Here's the other problem, though. Because, Flutterbug just went back in time. So that means there's another Braca out there. So now there's a universe that isn't destroyed. But in that reality, Braca never encountered Flutterbudgets, and is just fucking around the mummy's tomb by himself, jumping in the fountain full of the insects, back and forth, and pissing off the mummy. But he never encountered Flutterbudgets. So what I'm trying to say is now there's 2 of you. Maybe.
A mummy of infinite rage.
Yes. So,
Oh.
We never got a resolution to Braca. But anyway. Alright, is there any more information I can gather from these computers that might have to wait till next time?
Probably.
Probably yes?
Well, I have to figure out how to convey things without just telling you.
Well,
Like, if I had just made everybody speak English, life would be a lot easier.
yeah.
At the same time, I'm like, why would they speak English? Different dimension.
See,
And I'm just like, oh,
yeah,
wait.
see,
maybe I should just
fall into
had
the
it
trap. You fall into the trap. You're trying to do a legitimate sci-fi story here. Trying to do a legitimate sci-fi story and deal with languages. But then the problem with that is once you start coming up with a Simish language where we can't understand each other, you then understand why all sci-fi writers, in the past couple centuries have just broken down and make all the aliens speak English. You now understand. Because this is what happens. This is what happens,
Yeah.
Yamamoto. This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. This is what happens.
You can absolutely advance it. That's all.
All right. Well, tell me this. Does Jake feel tired after his busy day? Getting an ass kicked by a snake. Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. He's gonna wait on deciphering these computers for now. What he's gonna do, he's gonna go back downstairs. He's gonna go into the basement, close the door. I can leave. If I close the door in the basement, I can leave. It opens back and forth, right?
Yes.
Okay. Could I lock it from the inside?
Yes. I would suggest, however, barricading the open door.
Can I barricade it with anything?
The desk, table.
Barricade it with a desk.
Okay.
Barricade it with a desk. Go to the basement. Lock the door, and I'm gonna sleep next to the generator and recover. And we'll worry about food and water later.
Okay.
So now it's survival. I don't think anybody's ever dealt with a Pokemon game like this before.
I know, right? You know what's sad is you wanted to play this guy. I'm like, okay, I'll make a story that this guy could fit into. But if only you had just chosen to be a regular Pokemon.
Yeah, I like this better. This is a strange new world. This is the coolest incarnation of Pokemon for me because it's like I'm approaching this entire series like they're aliens. And to be fair, they are. And to be fair, I've always, when I look at Pokemon, ever since I was like 12 and this thing was getting popular, I've always looked at the Pokemon universe as if you're all just weird and aliens because, again, anime. So, what I'm trying to say is weeaboos ain't got no reason to live. Oxenius, fuck him. Fuck his weeaboo ass. But yeah, we got to get him to join this
I
game.
don't know. Say that so loud.
So, okay. All right. Do you have a name for this game, or you just want to call it Pokemon RPG?
I should call it Pokemon Hunters. No. I should, yes, the Pokemon RPG.
What's that, sir?
The Pokemon RPG will be fine until I come up with it.
Pokemon RPG. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Pokemon RPG. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I got to fight a snake. I got to be a Nazi-fighting American man fighter pilot from World War II, discovering the craziness.
I got to be a
Japan
challenge
unleashed.
DM, trying to figure out how to put some random asshole into a game.
Yeah. I thought you did an excellent job. And we've discovered Pokemon, and it's like a strange survival horror fantasy sci-fi adventure. And
You know what's funny is you didn't even fight anything particularly awesome. I was like a level 10.
well, that's the thing. He's taking his time. He's taking his sweet time trying to figure. I mean, I'm trying to get my bearings, and also, the outside is fucking dangerous. I know. Snake. The snake made me shoot myself. Snake. So,
Snake, snake.
you know, the worst part is, though, that snake was some good meat, and I just left it. Someone else probably eaten it already. Fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
Gosh.
Anyway,
Now I'm tempted to have something follow your blood trail.
Oh, fuck. Great. But hopefully it was just the Psyduck. Hopefully it was just the Psyduck.
Psyduck lusts for human flesh.
Oh, good. Oh, God. That's actually the most horrifying thing ever.
Psy?
It's like the item or the jar. It's like this little monster psychic thing in a box that kills you. Drives you insane. It's Lovecraft.
Oh yeah, it'll use confusion until you're actually confused, and then you'll hurt yourself in
Oh,
confusion.
God. It's a duck-shaped Dr. Psycho. God. This is terrifying. But I think it's actually pretty awesome. So this has been the Pokemon RPG Malmoto style. This is the
You know
Giant
what's
Pirates.
scary?
What's that?
It's one of my. Hold on, I'm gonna tell this before you. One of my thoughts always is, what if spiders were the size of horses? And then my brain went, oh wait, if you did that with Pokemon, it'd be even worse. So I made everything twice as big, and it's already starting to turn out pretty fucking. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm already terrified. There's bugs. There's a giant fuck-off wasp. Okay, you know what? Again, and I'm so fucking backwards, just not like me having no interest in Pokemon prior to this. You know what this is reminding me of, honestly, is a little-known PlayStation 2 game called Eternal Ring, where it takes place on an island. There's this whole fantasy country, and this one soldier with a mysterious background and knows a little bit of magic goes to this island to investigate it. A bunch of people get killed. He gets wrapped up in this crazy plot. But the thing is, the island is full of fucking monsters. All different types of crazy monsters. They're dragons. The commander he was going to visit starting to turn into a dragon monster. Dude gets turned into a werewolf. And as you're going along, you start meeting people who give you cryptic messages about the place. And one of the things is like, don't go into the fucking forest. The things in the forest are too powerful for you there. And he starts getting magic rings to help him out and stuff like that. But yeah, the fucking forest, man, it's got a bunch of fucking lizard men in it that like velociraptors with swords, and they're like way too powerful for you to begin with. But then there's the other thing. There's also a mist, so you can't see too far in front of you. And the worst thing of all is there are these giant fucking beehives with bees in front of it. And so early on, you get like fireballs and stuff like that. You can start picking them off from a distance and killing them, but when you start doing it, they start chasing you, so you got to run away. And you know, once you kill them all, you just feel like, oh, I'm at a safe distance, everything's cool. I'm gonna destroy this bee nest, everything's gonna be cool. You do that, it falls to the ground. A giant, like human-sized wasp with an extending stinger and just starts running right towards you. And he will chase you all over the fucking level. And again, you can't wander around too much in this like forest. You just got to run back to the cave and get out, and he's gone when you do that. But it's scary as shit. That's what that fucking reminded me of. When that wasp showed up, it was like, fuck, no, not after the snake.
Yeah, Beedrill is some serious shit. It's got spears for hands.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Poisonous spears.
Yeah, I don't need to fight that. I don't need to fight that. Okay, if I get some sleep, would I heal 1 lethal?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Okay, cool.
I didn't mean to almost kill you in the first round.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
Maybe.
did. I've
Maybe if I killed this character, I'd have a character that could play.
No, then you're gonna get something worse. Then you get like Oscar the Grouch or some shit. Oh, I get a willpower back too, right?
Yeah.
For sleeping.
You gotta play Oscar the Grouch in my game?
Yes.
Fucking seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, Pokemon. What's this all about? Why do I gotta catch them all? What if I don't feel like catching them all? Yeah. Fuck you, Big Bird. You catch them all.
I actually want this character. Except he'll have Oscar the Grouch's brain. It's like you don't get teleported. Your psyche does.
So the next session you're just gonna have rocks fall and I die, and it's like play Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Fuck these Pokemon. No, it's not rocks fall. Tesseract falls. Your brain gets teleported out into a random dude in a dumpster.
Oh fuck. But I'm still on the island for some reason.
Who are you gonna be? Are you gonna be the fucking Muppet, or are you gonna be the human? Are you sitting there in the trash can with a hand up your ass?
I'm gonna fuck with you. We're gonna turn this from a Pokemon game to a Sesame Street game, because basically it's like if I'm inside of Oscar's body, I'm safe, and the worst that's gonna happen is like Big Bird and Snuffleupagus and Oscar are just gonna think I've gone maybe a little crazy, or I'm nice all of a sudden. They're cute and innocent. They're not gonna commit me.
Like Oscar comes out, they're like, Oscar, you've really changed today. We're so happy you're less of a grouch. Yeah. And they're all like so happy that Oscar changed.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. They're just like, Oscar finally came out of his shell. He wants to be friends. Maybe getting some Muppet ass on the side.
Meanwhile, poor Oscar the Grouch on the island is still like, why am I stuck in this non-hairy, non-filthy body? What are all these monsters here? This is bullshit. Why does my Oscar curse so much?
Because that's what he would fucking do.
Yeah.
I love it. That's Dave Chappelle show.
Grouchy Pokemon.
His fucking stand-up. It's like
that's his gimmick.
No, you remember Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
With his Sesame Street bit?
Yeah.
Sesame Street teaches how to judge.
The homeless Oscar.
Yeah.
But you'll get no pussy. I said, fuck it. You don't understand. I make love to my hand. I don't need you, honey. I beat my dick like it owes me money. I said, fuck it. And on that note, I think there's one of the good thing is, like, thankfully, as you pointed out, the Pokemon are all animal intelligence, so if they're the only things on this island, there's no one that can steal my plane. So that's good. You need to get some sleep. I need to get some sleep.
And then you learn about things that could steal your plane.
Fuck. Alright. Dance tomorrow?
Maybe.
Yeah, because I think Oxenius wants to play Dance. So.
Okay.
Cool. Alright. This is Dread Pirate signing off.
Smalmoto also signing off.
Eat Pokemon, Nazi scum!